Greetings to another video. Today's video is going to be all about bike sizing. As you know, I am riding Ribble in 2020 and yeah, I am looking at different sizes. So I have a small and a medium and I'm kind of like, I could probably ride either. They both fit okay, but I want to make sure that I'm on the right size frame. So I am here at my good buddy and bike fitter Phil Burt, because he's going to have a look over and give you some tips as well if you are looking at buying a new bike, what to look out for if you are kind of caught in between sizes. So I'm going to head in now. Both the bikes are in the back there, so he's going to look over them and hopefully, well, I know he will, give us some good tips and good advice about choosing the right size frame. So I reckon let's head in. Yeah, right, so I'm here with Phil. We've got one of the bikes on. We're going to be putting them both on the turbo and then measuring them up, aren't we?
Yeah.
To compare to my other bike.
Yeah, so we've already looked at, you asked me the question, with the numbers that come off the the internet, the geometry and stuff, you're sort of in between a small and a medium, which has sometimes happened that the bike you're on and got used to and love, that position, it might be hard to replicate on a different bike, really straightforward sometimes. Sometimes it is, something, but all bikes are measured slightly differently, but the stack and reach numbers are the really important ones. So the stack basically is how high you can go at the front, and the reach is having that reach in there so you don't feel too squashed up or too far away. And if you can get those things, along with your contact points, marrying up together. Beauty of the system with the retail is that we zinned your old bike, we know exactly what that position is, and we compare these numbers to them. But then we might depart from numbers and see how you feel. Remember, there's always, the Phil Burt thing is always, there's a bike fit window, so you don't have to be in exactly the same position. As long as I'm comfortable with it from you're not going to get injured and you'll get used to it and it will feel comfortable in the end, then we're happy and go away.
Perfect, right, so let's get on
and
try it. Okay. The Ribble SLR.
SLR. And do you know the size?
Small? It's small.
What we've got there, Katie, is a lot of yellow, not much green.
So yellow means it's a little bit out?
It just means it's outside the normal range. Do you like medium, yeah?
Yeah, medium.
Okay. That to me looks a lot better, but let's have a look at the numbers, alright? I think you've got more variability in this position. See how much more green there is there? So it's saying you're much more than normal. 37 there, so your saddle could go up a little bit, and back angle.
And is that in comparison to my older one?
Yeah. Yep, and you just stop doing it, and your knee trick is exactly the same. So where your reach here is that, I think, you can't go any shorter than a 70, but this is where a lot of people mistake reach. It's not just how far your handlebars in front, it's where your saddle's at. And when I noticed your saddle setback when we started on there, you've got some rails to come forward. Here we go.
Ah,
feel better?
Okay. Why did I not think of that?
I don't know, that's what my job, isn't it? But Ribble for you a medium based on what you gave me the last. Retools in for, I felt like a medium, but you felt it was actually small, and what we can definitely say to them is small because the handlebars were wider and they were artificially increasing your reach on it, so you're making just a slightly different frame job as you work in there, but once you get them normalised, it's going to feel too small. I think you'll be happy there. But that's it, ride there a minute.
Yeah, that feels way better.
You ride really quite compact, yeah, you just like it, and that's really,
compact.
That affects the reach.
Awesome, thank you. Right, so
yeah, so basically
what we found
is that with your new Ribble bike, basically a classic thing. Remember, bike designers had to think about 70% of us in the normal distribution curve, and some of us are outside of there. Some people have long legs, short backs, or short legs, long backs. They sometimes get caught between frame sizes, and that's what you're feeling with this, all right? I think the medium is exactly the right sort of reach for you. Exactly the right height for you. As the stack of the frame brings you to where the height is. Because you've got long legs, though, a short
really
back, relatively short back, it just feels like it's a bit further away than for most of people this. Yeah. That's why you like the small one in terms of that reach is a bit further back so I can get to it. But unfortunately, the small is not the best bike for you because we saw loads of seat posts showing to get the right saddle height.
And it's way lower down,
to
isn't
keep
it?
those long legs, and then the drop is more. in my experience, I think people cope better with reach than they do drop, the excessive drop. So, and with reach, like we said, we're going to, a few tricks here. We're going to basically bring your hoods as far back as we can on our handlebar, narrow the handlebars as well to effectively reach.
I think what I was saying before is that the small felt like it fit better because it had wider bars, I think they were 44s maybe, and bigger crank, so that was like extending the reach and making it feel a bigger bike, whereas I think if I actually had, because from my fit, I need narrow bars like a 38 and like a 165 or 170 crank, so that on a small frame I'd just feel too big, wouldn't I? So.
And the frame manufacturer thinks your height is you're going to be a medium, right? And some of those things. But the good thing is when you get a company like this who will let you spec the bits that you want, to accommodate you to be. Look, they can't make in bespoke frames what they can do, but they're going to be very expensive. But what they will do is accept that not all human beings fall with that normal distribution graph. You jump on anything of this medium feel fine. So if you shrink the crank length, get the handlebars narrow, you're going to get the best of all worlds.
So if someone is in between frame sizes, what advice are the main things that you would look for? So if someone's watching, what would you say?
So if you feel like you're one of those people in frame sizes, i.e. your anthrometrics, the way you're built up, or maybe your injury history, you've got bad backs, you can't reach that far forward. I think there's nothing better than going sitting on a bike in a bike shop with somebody, feeling how it feels. Your comfort filter, your natural comfort filter. How does this feel? Do I feel like I can interact with it? That's the difficulty. You can get incredible value bikes online where you'll never meet those people, and some people get brilliant, fine, and they just adapt it. But if you, someone who's in between bike frames, you might need the help of somebody to say, look, we can do this, we can swap this out for you. This is the contact points. They're so variable. Where your saddle is, the width of the handlebars, the type of hood you got, the type of cranks. That can make those things can make most frames fit most people.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem at all.
Amazing. Right, better get riding. Look at this for service. So I'm going to be riding the medium, and that is actually what Ribble suggested when I went in, but because Phil did my fit initially, I wanted him just to have another check over it and all good, so I'll be riding the medium. And I just wanted to kind of add to the end of this video is that this has been, like, I'm always in between sizes of every brand that I've ever ridden. This isn't just like a Ribble thing. Like, I've always been in between sizes. So for me, like, I know I've always had to change like stem length, handlebar width and crank length because of my weird proportions. Maybe I look normal on camera. But yeah, I am tall. I'm like 5'9", 5'10". I have very long legs and a very short torso, and I have little T-Rex arms for reach. So that is just something that I've always kind of had to kind of sort out with every different bike brand that I've ridden. And so this leads me on to why I love Ribble and what Ribble offer, because when this has happened in the past, you get a bike as standard, then you have to swap all the parts out, sell the parts. Whereas with Ribble, you can just spec it up exactly how you want it with the sizes that you want. Like, this is what I love about it. And I guess working with Phil, to me, it is just paramount that you get a bike that fits you straight off. And so for me, like, when you pick the bike, you choose the size of cranks that you want, you choose the size stem that you want, and you choose the handlebar width that you want. And I just think, it just makes so much more sense than having a bike and then having to swap it all out yourself. You don't have to waste money, you don't have to waste time. Like, when I put all this into like the bike builder on the website, the bike that come back is going to be the bike that fits me straight off. So I'm just very excited. I just want to get my bike now. So I'm going to be doing another video about the actual build of it and what I'm going to be putting on it and what I'm going to be speccing it up with. But I guess you know the measurements, but it's just what I will be putting on there. So I'm very excited to do that very soon. And yeah, I think that is it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. And as always, thank you so much to Phil, because he is just I just really get on well with Phil. And also he's got a YouTube channel, so if you need any more questions answering, head over to his channel. Loads of stuff on there you can have a look at. So yeah, that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, you got a new bin?
Have I?
Is this new?
I think so. That's a bit new, doesn't it? Could be, actually.